Okay guys, before I start this vlog, how amazing are these shorts? Oh yeah, so much swag. Little Mermaid for the win. Hello puppy. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Hey guys, Siniophe here. So I just thought I'd do a little update vlog for you, as I haven't actually done one of these before. Just thought I'd talk to you guys about my extremely eventful week. Where to start? It's been absolutely ridiculous, and if you can hear weird noises, Ruben is rolling around by the back door because I think he wants to go out, so let's let him out. You wanna go out, pup? Come in. God, he's so slow. Yeah, so scary things happened this week. Like, okay, let's start with Monday. But before I explain to you what actually happened on Monday, I think I need to do a little background story for you guys. So over this past year, I have had countless kidney infections, and it's so painful and annoying. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. It's so painful. So I went to the hospital about 2 weeks ago and went and saw my urologist, and he has basically turned around to me and said that I have possibly formed some more kidney stones, which I've already previously had, and worst experience of my life. Worst pain, worst operation, worst like everything. It was horrible. So yeah, I may possibly have some more kidney stones, which is not a good thing. He also mentioned that I may have a narrowing of my urethra. I think that's how you pronounce it. So that is the tube that runs from your kidney to your bladder, which may be causing like the infections. Or from where I had my previous operation, they've like scratched or scarred inside my bladder, which is causing me pain. So I have to go for an operation in the next kind of month or so. As unpleasant as it sounds, I have to have a telescope put inside me. Yes, horrible. Oh, it makes me cringe just at the thought of it. They have to go up into my bladder, have a look around my bladder, see if there's any like tissue damage or like anything ridiculous like that. They've then got to go up the tube into my kidney and see whether I have any kidney stones that are just casually rolling around in my kidney, which fingers crossed is not, like, I don't want them there. I just don't want them there. But then, to be honest, the worst part about it, I have to have a biopsy of my bladder. So I'm going to be in so much pain after I have this done. But luckily I am going to be like put to sleep. I do not want to be awake for any of this. I don't want to witness anything. I don't want to feel anything. I just want to be out, completely out, because it's going to be horrible. So yeah, back to the story at hand. So on Monday I had my pre-op assessment, which is like, you just have to basically fill out this form, like who you are, where you live, who you live with, whether you have this, whether you have that, and stupid things like that. It should be just really quick and simple. But me being me, we weren't just in and out again. So I got into the room with the nurse after waiting for just over an hour. My appointment was at 2:30, and we got in there at about, to be honest, I think it was just gone 3 o'clock. So we went in and she asked me all these questions like, you don't have this, do you have that? Like basically repeating what the form said. And then she basically measured how tall I was, how much I weighed, worked out my BMI to obviously make sure that I was fit and healthy enough to actually go ahead with the operation. And then she turns around to me and she goes, right, that's all done. I've now just got to check whether I need to take any bloods. And I'm sat there and I'm thinking, please, for the love of God, do not take any blood from me. I don't want a blood test. I hate needles. I can't stand them. I'm literally shit scared of them. And yes, I've had tattoos, but that is a completely different feeling. So don't judge me. So yeah, so she popped out for like 5 minutes, well, like 2 minutes. She popped back and she was like, yeah, okay, we're gonna have to do a quick blood test. And I'm thinking, oh my God. So obviously I warned her that I'm not very good with needles. So I'm laying down on the bed and I'm talking away, everything's completely fine. And then she's like, right, there's gonna be a sharp scratch. So obviously I tense up and grit my teeth, and oh, it's just a horrible feeling knowing that something's going through your skin and into one of your veins. So she tried for about, well, what felt like forever, but it was probably like 30 seconds or something completely stupid like that. And she couldn't get any blood out of my vein. So there's me feeling extremely woozy, that she then decides that she's gonna try another needle in a different vein. So she was like, yep, sharp scratch, and she sticks it in my other vein, obviously in the same arm, and I can feel her trying to drain my blood out of my vein. And oh my God, literally my eyes went cloudy, and I was literally just about to turn around to her and say, I'm gonna pass out. The next thing I know, the next time that I actually feel conscious in any form is through, like, you know, I don't know, if you've ever fainted, you have like these really weird dreams. Basically, I dreamt that I was dead and it was the most horrible experience of my life. And obviously I'm slowly coming to, and all I can hear is the nurse and my mum like really shouting my name, or what seemed like they were really shouting my name. It's like, Sophie, Sophie. I came to and I was like, oh man, I feel so ill. So she laid me down like completely flat on the bed, because at this point I was kind of sat up a little bit. So she sat me up on the bed and I was like, I think I'm gonna be sick. So she got me the sick bowl and I sat there with a sick bowl on my lap for about 5 minutes, which I wasn't sick in the end. I was like, oh my God, my stomach feels so queasy and my head hurts so bad. So I had to lay down for absolutely ages, but apparently before I passed out, I sat up and rolled over to the nurse. But obviously I can't remember any of this, and then obviously I passed out. When people usually pass out, they usually go really floppy and just like relax, well not relax, but just go really loose and just kind of flop. I went completely rigid and tried to curl up into a ball. So bless her, the nurse had the needle still in my arm, and I'd gone rigid and I'd lifted my arm up towards into my chest and curled up into a ball. So when I came to, I just had this needle like awkwardly stuck in my arm, so she had to pull that out. And once again, me still being awkward as ever, well, to be honest, it should usually take you the same amount of time that you passed out for to basically recover. Bearing in mind my appointment started at just after 3, I didn't actually get out and get back to the car. Luckily my mum was there obviously, so I wasn't like driving home, I wasn't by myself or anything. But yeah, by the time we got back to the car, it was like 5:30. So it taking me like 2 hours to like physically recover to be able to feel well enough to even just walk back to the car. And then in the evening, I literally just flopped on the sofa and oh, it was horrible, absolutely horrible. And then Tuesday, I didn't feel too bad, but I still didn't feel like 100%. I mean, I went into work, but I made sure that I swapped shifts with someone so I wasn't in first thing in the morning. So yeah, Tuesday was a pretty normal day at work. Wednesday was pretty normal, and then on Thursday, everything happened on Thursday. Oh my God. right, okay, so it's funny at some points, it's good fun at others, but then the other point, which I'm going to go into first because it happened first, was the scariest thing that I have ever witnessed in my entire life. So on Thursday I had to go back to the hospital because I had to have an ultrasound on my kidneys to see whether they could pick up any stones, and they basically had to ultrasound like my bladder and everything like around my tummy to make sure there was nothing there. And I basically, where I live, the town that I live near enough in, has got one of the worst one-way systems ever, and if one car's in the wrong lane or anything happens, it fucks up the whole town. Like, it literally becomes standstill. So there's me like, oh my god, I'm gonna be late, get into town and it's a standstill, and I'm like, oh my god, I've still got another 10 minutes before I'm gonna get there, and this was at 11:30 and my appointment was at 20 to 12. So going around the one-way system, and I pull into my lane and it's not moving, and I'm like, come on, I'm getting really agitated, and I hate letting people down, so the fact that I was like late in the first place, just, oh, I freaked out. So I was in my lane and it wasn't moving, and all the cars in front of me were pulling into the lane on the right hand side, because the lane that I was in was on the very like left hand side, and I saw a couple of cars ahead of me go around something and then go up the road that I needed to go down. So I was just like, oh, maybe someone's just broken down, or I don't know, I honestly just thought it was a broken down car. So I'm getting closer and closer to whatever's happened, and I see the car that is stopped in the lane. It's got all of its hazards lights on, so I was like, oh, they've probably just broken down. But then I see a crowd of people around. There's basically traffic lights at the top of the road, which was where the car had broken down at. And there was loads of people standing at the crossing. And then I saw another car in front of the car with its hazards on, pulled up on the side of the road. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, something serious has happened. Whether they've had a crash and they've been in the wrong lane, or they've cut someone up, or something stupid like that, because it happens all the time. And then I get to the very front of the queue. Like I said, I see the car, I see the other car, I see the group of people standing by the road. The next thing I see, there's someone laying completely unconscious on the floor, and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck has happened? And I'm in panic mode now, like, oh my god, are they okay? Have they been hit by a car? Have they passed out? Like, what's gone on? So oh wow, this is really bright. So yeah, I was just like, what the hell? It was the most unpleasant sight ever, and the thing was, the people around them were trying to move them a little bit, like maybe into a more comfortable position, I don't know. But they were moving the feet and the arms, and whoever this person was just flopped, just limbs, like if they were being picked up, was just floppy and then flopping straight back down again. And I was like, oh my god, what am I witnessing right now? Next thing I know, ambulance came, and I was like, shit, something's serious. Well, obviously because there's a person laying in the middle of the road, but just seeing the ambulance and how quickly the paramedics ran out, I was just like, oh my god. So obviously I then couldn't go round anything to follow the road up, so I had to pull into the right hand lane and head off a different direction. Now, the only direction that I know to get to the hospital is in the lane that everything is happening in, so I panic. I'm literally panicking. I'm the worst for like anxiety attacks, panic attacks. If I'm like put in an uncomfortable position, I just panic. And so I pulled over and I rang the hospital and I was like, look, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to be late. Something's happened. I don't know whether someone's been hit by a car, whether they've passed out or what's going on. So they were like, oh, okay, that's fine. We'll let them know that you're going to be late and we'll try and fit you in when you get here. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Rang my mum and I literally burst into tears. I was like, Mum, I don't know what's going on. I think I've just like witnessed something. I think someone's dead. I don't know, just help. Can you direct me to the hospital? So bless her, she directed me to the hospital. I got there and apologised that I was late. Got there and, excuse me while I pull this chair up. There we go. So yeah, apologised that I was late and they were like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. So I sat down in the waiting room and I sat there for probably about 5 minutes. So this is now leading on to the next story that happened on Thursday. So I was sat around for, yeah, probably about 5 minutes and a lady came out and got me and she was like, oh, I spoke to you on the phone, are you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Apologised that I was late and everything. And she goes, oh, we're just going to have to take you to another ultrasound clinic because this one's obviously full and you've missed your appointment. And I was like, oh, right, okay. So I didn't really think anything of it. So she took me around the hospital and like took me down this corridor and I went in and I sat down and it didn't click until I'd sat down that I was now surrounded by pregnant women. And I was like, okay, I'm currently sat where obviously pregnant women go to have their ultrasound to have a look at baby. And at this point, I thought it'd be quite funny to text my boyfriend and tell him exactly what was going on. And I kind of baited him for a couple of hours. And basically, I told him what was going on. I was surrounded by like women with baby bumps and all of this. I went in and had my scan. And she said everything looked fine, so nothing too like bad to worry about. I then got to work and I hadn't texted my boyfriend purposely for probably about 45 minutes to an hour. And I got to work and I was like, I'm gonna troll my boyfriend so hard. So obviously baited him about all the baby bumps and all the women. I texted him and I was like, I need to tell you something. I don't really know how to tell you, but I'm gonna have to come straight out with it. So I was like, you know, you said that if anything happens, I need to tell you. Well, while I was having my ultrasound, they didn't find any kidney stones, but they found something else when scanning my tummy and just left it there. I then get 2 missed calls and 2 texts saying, what did they find? Call me. And I texted him back and I was like, oh, I can't answer the call, I'm at work now, we're really busy, even though we're really quiet. Yeah, I just basically texted him back saying, I think it's a little jelly bean. So now, obviously, when women are pregnant, in the early stages, the fetus literally looks like a jelly bean. So that's kind of what I called it. I texted him, but without me knowing, my manager or my assistant manager found out and he rang Dan straight away and was like, look, Sophie's pranking you. Whatever she says to you, go along with it. So obviously I was completely oblivious of this. And I get a text back and Dan's like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, are you feeling okay? Like, are you unwell? And then he goes, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Because he's away at the moment, so he was like, oh, we can go baby clothes shopping when I get back. And he was like, oh my God, did they give you a due date? I'm gonna ring my parents now. And I was like, oh my God, he can't ring his mum and dad. This is gonna go so wrong if he rings his parents. So I texted him straight away and I was like, oh my God, no, I'm really sorry, look, I'm joking, it's fine. After this point, I then found out that my manager had told him that it was a joke. I basically texted him and just carried on with like the story, apologised and everything. I then get an angry text back saying, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I've already called my parents. This is the most like stupid joke I've ever heard of. And I was like, oh my God, he's actually like really serious. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry, I'll call your mum, I'll tell her it's a joke, I'm really sorry, I'm really sorry. And then he was like, yeah, you better ring her, I can't do it, she'll be really angry with me. And then he was like, I can't believe you lied to me, by the way, that's so out of order. And then obviously later on during the day, I texted him back and I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I know this is all a joke coming from your end because our assistant manager has told you to go along with it and everything. And then we just laughed about it and it was hilarious. And I texted him on later in the day and I was like, did you actually believe me before you found out that it was a joke? And he goes, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did actually believe you. And like, he was like, I can't believe you do that to me. So yeah, that was another part of my Thursday. And then moving on to the very last part of my evening, basically I went to work, we left, and I went and played Rainbow Six Siege, which was pretty awesome. Hence I've got this pretty swaggerlicious Siege with a 6 on the arm t-shirt. So we got to play that, and it was basically our store versus a load of other stores, and we got to play a game, and it was basically like first to 4. It was kind of like more of an objective game. So it was kind of like search and destroy, but you had to just basically protect an area or defend an area or infiltrate it. But yeah, that was really good fun. Didn't get home until about 11:30, 11:45. But no, I mean, the game's really fun. Obviously I couldn't get any gameplay of it. I wasn't allowed to film. It was all like confidential and all that kind of stuff, so I wasn't able to do that. But yeah, that has pretty much been my week. Oh yeah, and yesterday my parents went away on holiday, so Friday, so they've gone to Egypt for 2 weeks. So me and my brother have the house to ourselves, which is amazing. I love having the house to ourselves, so I have no idea what we're going to do in the next 2 weeks. Probably throw a house party or something. No, I'm joking, I don't know. Probably have friends over or something. So yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. But yeah, I hope you like these ridiculous stories of my strange and wonderful events that happened this week. So yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!